Let's have an honest chat about Sam Sulek. Quick intro before we dive in. I'm Christian. I run a men's health clinic and coach busy guys on how to lose fat, build muscle, and feel like they're 20 again without the nonsense, trend hopping, or wrecking your hormones. Been in the fitness space over a decade, background in medicine, and I'm mildly addicted to calling out BS in this industry, which brings us to today's topic. So if you spent any time on YouTube, TikTok, or that dark, lawless corner of Instagram where gym rats roam free, you've seen them. The oversized hoodie, the backwards hat, the biceps that look like they belong in a Marvel movie, and the energy of a kid who still remembers how much Fun Dip costs. Sam has exploded into the face of modern gym culture. Millions of followers, a physique that makes grown men reevaluate their life choices, daily content that feels like watching your dangerously jacked little brother film his gym escapades without adult supervision. But here's the thing. This isn't one of those videos where I dramatically reveal that Sam is probably enhanced like I've cracked some major investigative case. We're adults, we all have eyes. You don't accidentally end up looking like a human action figure at 21 by sheer luck and creatine monohydrate. But the real question is this: what can the average guy, the guy who maybe isn't genetically gifted, chemically enhanced, or living in a calorie surplus, perpetual calorie surplus rather, actually learn from Sam Sulek? Because like it or not, there's plenty to unpack here. Some good, some questionable, some that should probably come with a health warning. So let's break it down: the good, the bad, the very questionable, and what you can take away from all of it without needing weekly blood panels or a suspicious Amazon package full of research peptides. So to start this out, I want to talk about the good stuff, what Sam actually gets right. And one of them is his relentless work ethic. Love him or hate him, you can't deny one thing. Sam trains hard. And I don't mean kinda sweaty, good enough for an Instagram story hard. I mean the kind that borders on a health concern hard. Nearly every set is taken to failure, often in the most literal sense possible. Some of his sets look like they belong in a workplace safety video, so you can't really argue with the intensity. Now, does this mean everyone should train like this? Probably not. The vast majority of people have no business taking every single set to failure, especially with questionable form and recovery protocols that consist of nothing but raw milk and good vibes. But it does expose a harsh truth. Most people in the gym dramatically overestimate how hard they're working. The average lifter stops their set the second it starts to burn. Sam keeps going until the bar physically refuses to move or gravity makes that executive decision for him. You might not need to replicate that extreme, but watching him reminds you just how much further you can actually push yourself, and I think most people in the gym would benefit from this. Number 2 is his genuine enjoyment of training. It's easy to overlook, but arguably the biggest reason Sam is so consistent is because he actually enjoys what he does. And that matters more than people like to admit. Most people drag themselves to the gym out of obligation. It is a box to check. Another chore squeezed between grocery runs and existential dread. But when you watch Sam, you can tell this isn't punishment. It's fun. The grind, the pump checks, the suffering, it's all part of the appeal. That's the real key to long-term success in the gym. If you hate every second of your workout, your odds of sticking with it for years are about as good as your odds of outbenching Sam Sulek. But if you find a way to enjoy it, whether that's through specific exercises, chasing PRs, or embracing the chaos, having a good playlist to listen to, it becomes sustainable. Sam might not have the most organized plan, but his love for the process, that's something everyone should be chasing. Now for number 3 is Sam's intuition. His training style is chaotic. He walks into the gym, wings the workout, follows what feels good, and somehow still gets results. For him, sure. For the average gym goer though, that's a fast track to spinning your wheels for the next 3 years. But underneath all the badness, there is value in developing gym intuition. Over time, learning to actually listen to your body is a skill. Knowing the difference between fatigue and injury, understanding when to push, when to back off, when to swap an exercise because something feels off. That's not recklessness, that is body awareness. Now, Sam's version of listening to your body sometimes looks like a caffeinated college kid making up a workout mid-rep. But the underlying principle is worth paying attention to. You still need structure, you still need a plan, but learning how your body responds, when to pivot, when to push, those are the real skills. Skills that can save you from plateaus, burnout, and injuries that leave you on the sidelines watching your gains disappear. Now, time to pivot. Let's talk about the bad of Sam Sulek and what you should probably ignore. The first one is ego lifting as a philosophy. Sam is a proud ambassador for ego lifting. Cheat reps, momentum, shortened ranges of motion, it's all part of the show. And in fairness, for someone at his level, with his development and recovery ability, enhanced or otherwise, there's some room for that. But most guys watching him, they don't have the foundation, the strength, or the joint stability to survive that approach. Trying to build your physique on cheat reps is like trying to build a skyscraper on sand because it looks cooler. The internet loves to copy the highlights. Nobody copies the years of foundation work or the pharmacy bill that makes those highlights even remotely viable. You can admire that intensity, but building your training around a reckless form because it looks cool on TikTok, that is a one-way ticket to Snap City. So use full range of motion, controlled negatives, proper tempo, progressive overload. It's not flashy, but it works. And until you've earned the right to just move the weight, maybe stick to the basics. Now for number 2 of the bad is the outdated bro split. Sam runs the classic bro split. Chest day, back day, arm day, leg day if he remembers, then arm day again. It's the same split that's been lurking in commercial gyms since the 90s, and for some reason, it won't die. People keep doing it. Here's the reality. Bro splits aren't inherently useless, but they're objectively less efficient for most people, especially natural lifters. They cram all your volume for a muscle group into one workout, hit it with reckless abandon, and then let it sit dormant for 6 days while you hope for growth. Meanwhile, higher frequency splits, like full body, which is what I do, upper-lower push-pull legs, consistently outperform bro splits for strength, hypertrophy, and overall progress. You get more quality volume, more recovery opportunities, and fewer forgotten leg days. But thanks to Sam's influence, bro splits have made a comeback. And now there's a whole generation of teenagers spending 3 days a week hammering chest and arms while their lower bodies look like they're cosplaying as flamingos. Now, for number 3 of the bad, the PED question, which everyone, of course, tiptoes around. So let's not dance around about this. The conversation about PEDs and Sam is delicate. He doesn't openly promote it. He doesn't deny it. But when you're 21, pushing 250 pounds, peeled vascular, and carrying more muscle than most seasoned IFBB pros, common sense applies. And this is where things get tricky. It's not about moralizing PED use. It's about the influence. Millions of young, impressionable guys watch Sam. They see the results. They hear him talk about raw milk and consistency. And suddenly they're Googling SARMs, peptides, and TRT clinics because they think that's the roadmap. I really do think that desensitization to PED culture is real, and Sam is not the only influencer doing this, and plenty of people are out there lying about it too. This is really spreading faster than pre-workout discount codes. And whether Sam intends to or not, he's the face of that normalization. The acne, the heavy breathing, the cardiac risks, they all get brushed aside when the biceps are peaking and the lighting is perfect. But behind every Sam Sulek success story, there's a cautionary tale. The Joe Static situation, the influencers quietly disappearing from the scene, the health consequences that don't show up on the Instagram highlight reels. And don't get me wrong, Sam is smart. You can hear it if you listen past the immature one-liners. He truly does understand training, but influence is a blunt instrument. People don't copy the nuance, they copy the results. And when the results require some pharmaceutical assistance, but the audience thinks it's all protein shakes and vibes, that's how gym culture ends up where it is now. So now for the takeaway and what you should actually do with this information. Sam Sulek really is a fascinating contradiction. Raw but calculated, reckless but strategic, inspirational but at times deeply problematic. Dismissing him entirely is short-sighted, but blindly idolizing him, that's even worse. The real answer lies in critical observation. You can respect the work ethic. You can admire the intensity. You can appreciate the love for training that most people never develop. But you need to separate that from the fantasy. Ego lifting isn't a training philosophy, it's an occasional tool. Bro splits aren't a master plan. They're a relic from an outdated playbook. PED-fueled physiques aren't normal. They're the chemically engineered extremes, often with hidden consequences. So the real takeaway here is simple. Train hard, but train smart. Fall in love with the process, but keep your expectations grounded. Build your body, but keep your health at the top of the list. Because muscle fades, algorithms shift, the internet moves on. But your joints, your heart, your health, you're stuck with those long after the dopamine from your last PR wears off. So, Sam Sulek might be the most entertaining, polarizing, and controversial figure in fitness right now, but if you approach it with eyes wide open, filter out the noise, and keep your own long-term goals in check, I think you can actually learn a lot from him.